Hi everyone, I'm Angela. Welcome and welcome back to Angela's Fashion Mix. I hope you've had a fantastic day and that your week is off to a grand start. Thank you for being here, and if you are new, welcome to the channel. This is where I talk about fashion, how I enjoy it, where I shop to create my wardrobe. Sometimes there's some lifestyle, some home decor, a little bit of cooking, a variety of things in that way, and some of that is in this video. But today's video is for you to have the opportunity, and I found that you all like these videos where I ask for your input in what I'm going to be wearing, and this is an opportunity to do so. I've mentioned in a recent video that I have a couple of black tie events coming up, one for an anniversary, one for a wedding. A third has popped into my plans, and I knew it was out there, but I did not know if I was going to attend, so I did not mention it earlier. And I'm going to share what I think I'm going to be wearing. Now, if you saw my video with regard to what to wear to a white tie or a black tie event, black tie calls for typically long. Typically something on the order of a gown. Cocktail length, tea length is also acceptable. It does not have to be black, but most of the time you're going to see people wearing black. But it can also call for jewel tones, those rich colors, sequins, rhinestones, all of that, but it's more elevated. Now, for this event, it's an alumni event, and I am choosing a dress that has been in my closet for years, and it was purchased for my daughter initially. I want to say she wore it to prom. If it wasn't prom, it was something else she needed to dress up for in high school, but I think it was her prom dress. And I found it at Ross, and that was in 2017. But this is the dress. And I'm going to show you. I'm not going to try it on yet. You'll see it when I wear it, as the event is on Saturday. And I decided I was going to wear this dress. And it's been hanging around. It has not been at the forefront of my thoughts, as I have not needed a black gown. But it's here. And it was her dress. So it has some mesh here in the neck area in regard to an illusion neckline. So we have that. And here at the waist, there is also mesh. Now I will have on a black slip. This will not be see-through once I put it on, but it is here as a detail. It also has a slit here on the side. It's a pretty high slit. But this is what I am planning to wear on Saturday. And, I kind of was going. I wasn't going. I didn't know if I was going to go, all of that. We're going to settle here. I think we're pretty safe here. But what I want your help with is whether or not I should wear silver or gold accessories. And I'm going to show you a couple of options. Now, if I can get the poll to work, you'll be able to vote. But I'm going to show you a couple of things that I am considering. I have recently acquired a silver pair of sandals. Now, you all know I had some issues with my sandals a few months ago. So now I have this sandal. This is going to be strapped around the ankle. If you can see that there. And we're considering this for silver. Now, this is one option. But I also may consider this. You've probably seen this. Now, it's going to be, for silver, it will be one of the two of these. I'm not sure. Once I kind of pull the look together, if it works out that one's better than the other, then I will make that determination. But for your input, the first one was A. This one would be B. We're going to talk about accessories in a sec. So let's say we're going with the silver. For the accessories, I would consider, instead of going with silver, I would go with this in this kind of a charcoal gray necklace. And this is what's called the Casper necklace, as the chain that the beads are on is clear, but they dangle. So whether I do shoe A or shoe B, I think I'm gonna take a look at this as a necklace, not to have silver as the option. But my shoe would go with either one. So this would be A with the silver sandal. This would be B with the silver glitter. Or should I go with gold for my shoe? You've seen this before. And this is one of those things where I talk about not saving your pieces for occasions per se. And this shoe is an example of that. I've worn this several times on Sundays. So that's what it does. Now, this would be my third choice for a shoe. Regardless of the jewelry, this is the shoe if I go with gold. Consider that. That is C, shoe. And for jewelry, I would very possibly do this for my necklace if I go with gold. And this has a coordinating earring like so right here. That could change, but this would be the necklace potentially as option C with the gold shoes. And we'll pick a bag later. This is the heart of what I'm trying to achieve and what I want you to help me decide. So we have a couple of options. This is the dress. That's it. So do we go with the silver sandal, option A? Do we go with the glitter shoe, option B? This is the necklace on either A or B. The shoe is what's going to change. Or should I go with C and do this with the gold shoe? And just tell me A, B, or C. No mixing of the silver and the gold. It's A, B, or C. And it is Wednesday. So if you could let me know that by Friday, that would be great. The event is on Saturday. So we look forward to what you're going to submit. Also in this video, I went to a thrift store that I did not expect to find what I found. And I did not know the thrift store was there. I happened to pass by and I saw this huge sign said thrift. So immediately, of course, I did a quick stop. And it was a bookstore that was relocating literally down the sidewalk from where they were. Now, I didn't know any of this, of course, until I got there. But that is the story. They are just moving a few doors away. And when I tell you, I have never in my life seen that many books that were not on shelves. It was just massive. So I had to take a video of it so that you could see it. It was just absolutely unbelievable. The amount of books was in this place, and the books were, I want to say they were $1. They wanted to move these books, and they were everywhere in every category, but none of it was in a space of here's fiction, here's nonfiction, here's cooking, whatever. There were some of those in shelves, but for the most part, there was just no way to determine what you'd be looking at. So that was that. If you're in the area, by the way, this store is at Turner Road and Hall Street. I'm sure by now they have really minimized what's there, but take a look at that if you're interested in books. Also in this video, I am cooking. Several of you have asked me for recipes about random things. And in this video, I am sharing as best I can. It's a challenge trying to maneuver the camera and cut and do all the stuff. But I think you can get the gist of what's happening. So it's not a tutorial per se. It's just showing you how I make soup, my vegetable soup. I do it a couple different ways, but most of the time it's beef and flank steak and vegetables. So that is the crux of it. And I usually make a big pot. We'll eat it for a couple of days. And, after that, I'm kind of putting a little bit of leftover in the freezer for maybe a lunch. And I'm showing you that. Do keep in mind that there are some steps that are potentially missing. But what I'll highlight is the flank steak. That just adds another level of flavor. I season meat before I put it into the water. And of course, I wash all meat. All meat. Well, I won't say all. The meats I do not wash is hamburger and bacon, sausage, that kind of thing. But if it's a beefy, poultry, all the stuff, I wash all meat. So do keep that in mind for now or any other. If you don't see it happen, just know it happened. I do also wash the tops of my cans. I just squirt a little Dawn around on the tops and I rinse them in hot water. All my cans get washed. And so do keep that in mind. And another thing is with regard to seasoning. So as I mentioned, I season each part. I just think that just overall adds a bit of more flavor to the soup versus just sprinkling salt or pepper or whatever into the water. I season the meats and I sear the meat. So it just adds a lot more for me. So we do that. We do love soup even in the summertime. So it's an easy option for dinner. And in this video, I have mentioned that there are a few projects here at home that I'm working on. And one of them I have been putting off. It wasn't urgent. It was just something that I needed to do. And I have now done it. And that is to add shelving in one of our closets. It's a closet. The closet is in our office. My husband and I share an office. And this closet has been there. It has served us through the years. It just now needs to be better utilized. So I've added shelving, like here, the wire shelving, the white wire. I have now added that in to that space. To mention, for those of you that may attempt this or just have questions about this, I've had a lot of questions about the shelving. For those of you that don't know, my husband and I did the shelving here in the closet. It's a project that I can handle on my own for this, what I just did. And the thing that you would probably benefit from the most, I always say, measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, cut once. Because once you go buy your hardware and you have Home Depot cut it, which they will, they cut it for free. Once they cut it, that piece is yours, So you do want to make sure that your measurements are right. So measure twice, cut once. So the things in this project that I have just finished, it's it is very simple. These are the things that you would need. You will need the shelving, of course. You will need brackets. You will need the pins for the brackets. You need a tape measure of some kind, a ruler or whatever.
You're going to need a drill.
And you'll need a hammer. That's it. And I'm going to be showing, and I'm going to be adding in comments on certain parts of that installation so you'll know what's happening with those pieces. The shelving pieces come in different widths, or should I say depths, from front to back. Like here, this is a 12-inch. What I put in the closet, it's a 16-inch depth front to back. So what changes, and this is something to keep in mind, and if you get the person at the Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever store to help you with it, they should recommend it. But if they do not, do keep in mind that the width of the shelf is going to change what length of the bracket you use. So for a 12-inch shelf, you need a 12-inch bracket. For a 16-inch shelf, you need a 16-inch bracket. The bracket I'm talking about is basically the arm that holds up the shelf onto the wall. So do keep that in mind. But it's a simple project, so if you're looking to add shelving anywhere, your pantry, laundry room, wherever, it is a very simple project to do. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe, like, and share. I always appreciate it. Thank you all so very much for your comments and for your time that you give to Angela's Fashion Mix. It does not go unnoticed. It is very appreciated. So thank you for that. Until next time, everyone, have a wonderful rest of the week. And I'll see you definitely on Saturday with my black tie look. Bye. So I'm grabbing diced tomatoes, the basil, garlic, and oregano. I'm getting a couple of cans of veg-all. I don't prefer this because it has too many carrots, but I usually can pull some of that out. So I have a couple of those, and got peas, I have green beans, I have whole corn. I handle meat with a plastic bag on my hand. So we're getting beef stew. And I also use flank steak. I'll show you what I do with this. So I'm getting cantaloupe. I'm picking up cored pineapple. For lunch, I'm going to have what I call a cucumber salad. Have some bacon bits. Is the closet space that I am going to be installing shelving from floor to ceiling here in this space. These are the shelves, and we're going to better utilize this closet. Let's get it.
This is the hardware for the shelf. It is brackets and it's these pegs. Two different styles of pegs that do two different things.
This is the pin that holds the back of the shelf, and the shelf fits inside of here once it's nailed to the wall. And this is the pin that attaches the bottom part of the bracket to the wall. And that goes in here and gets nailed into the wall to hold the bottom.